Welcome to the house that Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. I am your host and the tribal chief of Raider Nation, Hammer.
Acknowledge me.
Hope everybody's having a great Sunday wherever you guys are at. Before we go any further, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, I'm going to teach you real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. We are joined by our special guest today. It's been a minute, but he's back. You guys love it. You guys love him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for... Do I do it the right way? The Hammer and Joe Show. The Hammer and Joe Show. Welcome back, bro.
What up?
How are you?
You know, I got through COVID, had COVID a couple weeks. That's why I had to call in on one day because I still have a little cough. But man, you know, football's back. It's been a good weekend, man. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna tell you off here. I have an idea for when you bring me on, something that you could.
And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think as long as I've been on, as long as he's been watching the show, I don't think Joe got the memo. I don't think he got the PSA that I give out to all you boys and girls at the end of every show to remember to always wash your hands and your asses.
I watched it. You know what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened. I went out. I had my nephew is in town still, and we went out. And needless to say, when we were out, someone gave it to me. So
hey, yo.
Yeah. Pause. Hey, what up, Johnny Kicknuts?
The dopest name in YouTube. What's good, bro? Let's do a quick roll call and then we're gonna get right into it. I have like so many things up on this screen right now that I'm trying to condense a little bit so I could actually see your guys' comments. Like my chat on my side looks super small right now, but let's do a quick roll call. Silver and Fax is in the building. He's got a lot to say. Good God. CGR, what's good, my guy? MG says, yeah, it couldn't put it any better. It's the Hammer and Joe Show. There you go, brother. Anthony, the wet blanket of the nation. Become a member, bro. Oh, yeah, you guys want to become members of the channel? The link is pinned to the top. Anthony is anti-membership. Alex, Mike Roadster, Grim Raider, Andrade, again, Johnny Kicknuts, Paul Egerton, George Manley, Ace Spy V, Raiderzilla, John Powell, Billy Davis, Herman Munster, Troy Gill, Elite. There's a lot of you guys in here already. We only have 58 in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get that algorithm jumping, and hopefully we get more people on. We are on multiple platforms today. We are on X, and we are on YouTube. If you want to be a part of the conversation, come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. Hit that subscribe button. Jason Hunter, the Demon King, is in the building. And, oh yeah, thank you guys. A very great show on Thursday with my brother Graf. We did the game. Sucks that it ended in a tie. And then we did the presser right after. I don't know what came over me to get back on right away and do that. But we did hit 10,300 subs. Let's continue to get that up. Let's get to 11K as quickly as possible. Season goal is 15K. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. And we were talking about this off air. Let's do a quick recap the
Welcome
game,
to the
like
dark
at least
side.
your thoughts, and shout out to Jason Hunter. We know he's been a member though. At least I thought he was. He just became a member. Welcome to the dark side, bro. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions in terms of the game. We'll do a quick recap. You tell me about some players to you that stood out, and then we will talk about the news. We're not going to get into it right away, but we will talk about a signing that the Raiders did about 3-4 hours ago. But let's do a quick recap first before we get into that part of it.
You know, one of the things that stood out to me was I felt like there was an adult in the room the entire game. You know, like there wasn't, to me, I know it's preseason and I do my best to not get too up, too down. It's preseason. The thing I take away is I want to see rookies get playing time, and I want to see no key members of the first or second unit get hurt. Like that's really what I look for. And then for like the backups, I want to see in particular the quarterbacks, how well they play if they have an opportunity. I see people jumping off the ledge with Ashton Genty's 3 carries for -1 yards. He had 3 carries, folks. Like, it's 3 carries, and it's not a big deal. It's his first preseason NFL game. It doesn't matter. It's not week 16 and he has 270 yards rushing on 300 carries. Like, so just relax. That's one of the things that stood out. Jamal Adams, I love how active he was as a backer. Your boy Dylan Lobby looked really, really good. I like that facet of the offense that he could bring. AOC looked like dog shit, and I would rather see the third stringer, the rookie, get more reps than him. I mean, honestly, like, I don't get the infatuation with Aiden O'Connell. The processor is slow, holds on to the ball too long. He can't move. There's this, okay, this is the third year. You know what you have with him already. Let's see the young pup, what he can do. And what does he do? He goes in, throws a hell of a pass on a great pump fake, on an out and up to get to a touchdown. He brings mobility to the position, which is needed in today's NFL. And he didn't look like he was above the moment. And then the last thing that stood out to me, if I'm going to be a buck, and it's not something that I don't think people look at, is the leadership of Geno Smith, going and talking to Smith, going into that final drive and what they needed to do, going and being on the sideline, listening, helping with the offense, and saying, kind of help the young guys along. And even Jamal Adams too, being so engaged in the game, and that sideline being so hyped. It was a different feeling. And then, when we get to, talking about Geno, and I know I'll throw you the easy softball question, I love how Pete answered the question today when they're talking about Geno coming on, flipping, him and Max flipping the guy off with the sign. I love Pete's answer with it, because, I mean, that's what you want in a leadership when you're building culture like Pete's building.
Like, it was a great response to such a stupid fucking question, and you asked the question, 3 days later, 3 days after the game? Like, and for those that didn't see the presser, I don't know who it was, and I hope it's not one of the people that I'm actually cool with in terms of the media, but they asked about Geno Smith's gesture towards the fan, and Pete Carroll's response was, well, did you see the sign? Next question. Like, straightforward, straight to the point. Like, look, Geno doing what he did, that's the Raider mentality, man. No fucks given. You came out with probably one of the most dumbest signs I've ever seen, like, big or bust, Geno Smith or Jamarcus Russell. If I remember correctly, Jamarcus Russell was drafted in the first round, right? Geno Smith was drafted third round, if I remember correctly. Like,
no, second round, early second round, like first couple picks in the second round.
What the fuck are we doing, man? And yes, he felt some type of way, so he did what he did. I would have did the same thing. I've had my encounters with fans, with spectators when I was playing ball back in the day, and there were times that I would fire back at him. I didn't give a shit. You ain't paying my fucking salary. Fuck out of here.
I just think it's I just think it's different. I mean, because it was in Seattle, and Geno during his time there had played really, really well. And there should be respect.
Well, even last year, I don't want to take this away from him. I was going to say until McDonald became the head coach, but he still had really good numbers with McDonald as his head coach.
Right, and he solidified a position that it wouldn't have been easy to do when you're replacing a guy that was a Super Bowl champion and you went to another Super Bowl. I mean, that's not easy to do, and he solidified that position. And to say something like that, I thought it was tacky, and I like how the team handled it. I like how Pete handled it. And again, like when you see, I think Smith, when he was at Cam Miller in the fourth quarter, again that last drive, he went over to him and had a full-on conversation with him, like, "Hey, this is what you need to do." And I'm going to say this because when I was watching the Bear Miami game earlier at the end of the first half, your boy Zach Wilson. MILF legend.
How is that my boy? What the fuck?
He was on your side of the country, not this side, So this fool literally almost throws a pick, And it was like the first thing I said to my homeboy, we were watching the game. I was like, he can't take a sack. First play, takes a sack. Damn near throws a pick and then takes another sack on fourth down. You need there's that should be ingrained in the quarterback's head. And I think with Miller, when Gino went out there, that's probably what he said. Hey, get the ball out, but you cannot take a sack right here. And the kid threw a hell of a pass on a little out route or a guy's little stop route on the outside, got out of bounds, that set up the field goal attempt to potentially win the game. But little things like that is what goes on to lead to a team starting to win. And it's, again, IQ. It's about leadership. It's about the culture that's being built. And we're going to keep, as long as Pete's here, we're going to hear about culture. And I think that that's dope just for a team that really didn't have any and lacked it since Gruden left, to be honest with you.
Shout out to John B, man. Like, I love it. Y'all really know what time it is. Hammer and Joe show. Hammer and Joe show. Bro, I appreciate y'all. I really do. Look, there has been a change in that building. And talking about Cam Miller, this was the one draft pick that Tom Brady had his hands on. And they've talked about it. Cam Miller did a presser a couple of days ago. And he pretty much said that he was unaware of this, but he was very humbled by the fact that Tom Brady took the liking to him and, in fact, drafted him. Now, I really love what I saw out of the kid the other night. Yes, he did get sacked once, but that 1st and 24, throwing that dime for the touchdown, I think everybody was like, holy shit, yeah, AOC, to the back of the bus you go, bro. Like, the experiment, in my opinion, is 1,000% over. Yes, he had one touchdown pass, but guess what? He also had 2 interceptions, and it's just like the same shit. It's the same movie over and over and over again with him. I'm seeing people on social media that are still on this kick, riding this Aiden O'Connell train, and creating these false narratives as if they know people inside the building, and these people are saying this, that, and the third, when we know realistically you're full of fucking shit. Geno Smith is the starting quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. Stop trying to fucking twist shit around. Stop trying to cause a divide within Raider Nation and be on the, oh yeah, Aiden O'Connell looked really good in practice, and Geno Smith, he didn't do this, and Geno Smith is not the answer. And shut the fuck up. You don't know football. You don't know your ass from your elbow. Stop fucking creating this shit because nobody wants to fucking hear it. And I'm not going to be apologetic when I'm saying that. Stop creating these fucking false narratives because the false narratives create the fucking divides. This is a new regime. This is a new day for the Raiders organization. It should only be optimism and positivity moving forward. Stop trying to shake things up. If that's what you have to do to fucking get views, then you're not in the right fucking field, my friend. Get the fuck out of here. Be real, be organic, grow the right way. Fuck out of here.
What I will say is early in camp and in some of the mini camps in OTAs, O'Connell looked good. But that's the underwear Olympics. And I see one of the comics said JT said Aiden looked on fire. JT's a close friend. I hang out with JT. We both live in Vegas. JT's a mentor in a lot of ways. Know his family well. He said that early on. I don't recall him during that game. I didn't listen to JT. I watched the local broadcast with my frat brother Kurt Morrison, and quite frankly, I thought Kurt and Gannon were very fair, and that's being polite with the criticisms of AOC on the TV broadcast here in Vegas. So I don't know if JT said that during the game, and that's something. I mean, I talk to JT at least once or twice a week, just on some homie shit. Yeah. So that's going to be something that I will talk with him about. And say, what did you think? Because JT and I Hammer, there's a lot of things that I can't say publicly, and that you and I will have a full-on conversation about privately.
Right.
And I go back to one last year you and I had with something JT and I were talking about towards the last day of training camp when we said Thanksgiving was an important date for a lot of reasons, and we wanted something to happen by then because it could make people's lives a lot easier, and unfortunately it didn't work out that way. But needless to say, I don't get it. And the thing is too, I like the rookies. I mean, the rookies played well this week. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, bro. You're good. Why'd you freeze up like a stripper just now? Like you're moving, but like you just paused. Like in
Yo,
terms of,
I
I can hear
everything
you.
froze on my end.
Here we go. It's that Wi-Fi in Vegas now. All right, Joe's gonna come back in a minute. I'm gonna wait to hear him come back, and I'll put myself up solo. Graf is in the building. Salute to my guy. Um, Look, I'm not gonna apologize for what I just said in any way, shape, or form because it's really starting to get old. It's really starting to get agitating with how these things that I'm seeing. Again, myself and my brothers, we know a lot of people inside the building. We hear a lot of things. Do we necessarily share everything? No. And that's pretty much in respect to the people that we do know. Like there were stories that I heard last year in terms of things that went on last season with AP as a head coach. Some stuff that were real eye openers and a lot of things that made sense in terms of us doing these live streams, watching games together with you guys. Things made sense after the fact when the season was over and I started hearing these things. Um Whoever, any of my mods in here today, please, I don't know, we're not doing live play-by-play, but we're getting these stupid NFL game streaming shits. Please block them ASAP. Um, Again, out of respect for the people that we do know, we're very careful with the things that we put on screen. And we also don't take things that we hear and twist them around to cause a mass hysteria. Like, I've seen this before. I've seen this movie before in terms of people creating these false narratives and then it causes huge divides. For what reason? Maybe for what you think is going to be an advancement, but it truly isn't. But I sit here and I bring you guys real information. I bring you guys also facts when I do my lives. I can throw out stats, we can talk about things, we can dissect things, but we do it the right way. We do it. Look, may not necessarily be a professional at this. I try to be as professional as possible and try to give you guys the most detailed information I can. But some of the things that I've been seeing recently, it makes me want to stay off of social media. Like seriously, I'm tired of reading the dumb shit and getting notifications or pop-ups of the dumb shit. I'm just like, why am I? Why? What's the point of this? This is false. This is bullshit. Whatever. Yo, what happened? I got kicked out. Now it's not letting me connect. Hold on one second. Let's get him back in here if it's gonna work. Are you back? No, you look frozen. Let it go. Let it go. I'm gonna get him back up here in a second. Let me send him the link again. Give me one second, guys. I'm sorry for the dead air. And yeah, I didn't expect to go this route with this live, but some things had to be said because it's becoming too much too quickly. And if anybody feels some type of way about it, I really don't give a shit. I really don't. All right, so I just sent him the link again. Let's see if he gets back up here momentarily. He definitely told me that the Wi-Fi connection in Vegas has been very, very bad for whatever strange ass reason. So it is what it is. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Gino's a starter. AOC is a backup. That's fine with me too. There you go. Facts plus tax and great powerful, as a great and powerful graph would say. And I saw him in the building. Salute, bro. I'm sorry if I missed you. And salute to him. Happy anniversary. Him and his beautiful wife. 14 years strong. Man, I want to be like you when I grow up. All right. It shows that he's in the green room. Are you here? Are you not? Nope, he's still not there yet. All right. When he gets back, we'll get that going. See if I'm missing anything. Just have him call in. You know what? We might have to go that route, even though the whole point of us doing this live today is to actually open up the vault line for you guys, and I wanted him on camera for it. Oh, I think he's back. You there?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like it's irritating.
It's probably the Wi-Fi
So
because like I know I got to do some tech work for some people to get theirs really strong moving forward. So yeah, people are freaking out about JPJ and Raiders fans are calling Genty a bust because of 3 rushes. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna keep this up on the screen for a second. And again, whoever my mods are, snipe these stupid fucking bots because this shit is really getting annoying already, and we're not even doing a game. We're gonna touch on this in a second. Who stood out to you? Give me it doesn't have to be a top three. Give me a couple of players that stood out to you on Thursday night.
Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played fantastic. Um, Jamal Adams and I mean I take the low hanging fruit, Cam Miller.
Okay.
Lobby would be the fourth. Um, and then the back, I forget the why am I forgetting the backup running back? Not Mozart.
Sincere
No,
or
not
Collier.
McCormick.
Collier.
The backup, the number 2 running back. He came in right after Genty. Why am I having a brain fart? I don't want to look at him.
Mostert's number 2.
Yeah. Then him as well. Those were the guys that really stood out to me. Like that off the top of my head.
I'm gonna do it by positions. Now, that actually just popped into my head. I'm gonna do it by positions real quick. Cam Miller, running backs. I gotta give it to Lobby. No Diddy if necessary. Like, I'm so happy for the kid. His first NFL touchdown. I just, the second it happened, I shot him a text, and he definitely had to have still been in the locker room. I got a text at like 2 a.m. Like, let's effing go. Like, I'm so, Dylan, if you're watching, I don't know if you are, but bro, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations, your first NFL touchdown. We're gonna talk later though, because I did have something I wanted to say to you. I'm gonna send you a message, and I want that to, the message I want it to resonate with you moving forward. Receivers, Thornton looked okay. Dorsett looked pretty damn solid. Jackson, oh my God, he looked really good in that second half. Defensively, and I don't know if I necessarily need to go specifically by position. Jamal Adams definitely needs to be a starting linebacker for us, most definitely. I loved everything I saw. He definitely, we know he's late in his career now, but he's definitely fit best at this point of his career at the linebacker position. It's going to be incredibly tough. Shout out to CGR for gifting 5 Raider Nation News Today memberships. Guys, if you want to continue to support this channel, keep the lights on here. The link is pinned at the very top. Jamal Adams, Booker, who nobody expected to start. He was just traded from Philly to us. He looked pretty damn good, and he's actually working with the starters right now. That's a great sign for us. Tonka Hemingway looked okay. Tyree Wilson, and you guys know, you guys can kick me off the cliff. You know, I predicted him to be drafted by us, what have you. 2 tackles for losses. Okay, cool. And in the secondary, Isaiah Palomalo with that pick. So it was a it wasn't just a 3-star type of game. Granted, we tied. It is what it is. We heard Pete Carroll the day after. I obviously wasn't live to do it, but hearing his presser the day after the game and what he had to say, especially as it pertains to the offensive line, which I know for a lot of people are going crazy over this right now. I don't know what the real situation is as it stands with Alex Kappa right now, but I'm under the belief that they feel like with him not really doing anything at the moment, that JPJ is the better fit at right guard. Pete Carroll talked about the whole thing with them being out there a little bit longer between Meredith and JPJ at center and right guard. But that whole thing has caused a mass hysteria recently, but also the fans, and I don't think anybody in here has said it. I'm glad that you guys haven't. At least if I haven't seen it, I hope nobody in here said it. But talking about Genty being a bust. His first preseason game, Pete Carroll said that they are running very, very basic shit right now. Pretty much it came to the effect of nobody's going to see our real offense until the regular season comes, and even then, they're not going to know what we're throwing at them, so fuck around and find out. I'm good with that. But everybody already flying off the rails about Genty being a bust. And I had put it up, and then I took it off of Twitter. Look, if that's how you feel already, and we just concluded our first preseason game, then by all means, go find another fucking team to root for. I am really not with that shit. Pete said that the offensive line could be rotational as far into week 1 of the season. We just need to see how things go. Like, look, he's all about competition. He was talking about today's practice, how they were doing goal lines, and these were guys that are fighting to get their jobs, while you have people that are pretty much solidified for this 53-man roster rooting their teammates on. Like,
Man, look,
go ahead.
it's week 1 of preseason. He had 3 carries. He's not Barry Sanders, but how many times have you seen elite running backs? They need carries to gain yards, and it was 3 carries. Okay, relax. It's the preseason. They're not supposed to show anything. It's supposed to be vanilla. It's supposed to be, we're just doing X, Y, Z because we want to just to get the reps, get guys used to getting hit by other guys, having guys show. If anything, if the one negative of the whole game, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, is the lack of tackling and how bad of a tackling team the league is right now. Not just the Raiders, but every game I watched this weekend, the tackling has been shitty at best.
And Carroll touched on that. Carroll touched on that in the presser in terms of the tackling and stuff. And it's like they're not really tackling during these practices. Like, this is something they have to work on. It's still early. Like, but everybody already, and this is week 1 of the preseason. Everybody's flying off the rails. Now look at New England and Washington. New England dog walked Washington. Does that mean that Jaden Daniels needs to be traded or he needs to be cut? Is anybody talking that shit? Like, come on, what are we doing?
Well, even the JPJ issue, right? Look, folks, I know everybody wants him at center because he played well there last year, and that's what he was drafted as out of Oregon.
Right.
But Pete Carroll, Brennan Carroll, Chip Kelly are going to put the best 5 offensive linemen on the field, and he has position versatility. Not a lot. Not. And that's what they want on that line. They're gone to that mold of like other teams that want to have guys that can play left or right tackle, or can play tackle, kick inside the guard, or play guard and kick inside the center, whatever the case may be. If he's best suited for that to be on the field, at least you have him on the field. And then if whoever goes down, you slide him over, then that's what you do. But just relax. Like, it's not a big deal. And I would if Pete said it's a rib thing where he got hit in the ribs, take Pete's word for it. Pete's got no reason to lie to you. I mean, you guys, if everybody want to applaud Pete for standing up for Gino and trying to take the sign down, and then today saying, "Did you see the sign?" Next question, take him for his word that hey, it's a rib thing right now, and relax. Like you can't have it both ways in this case. He has done nothing but be honest and look at the direction and the trajectory of the team as it currently is versus a year ago. A year ago, it was a clusterfuck. Antonio Pierce fighting with players. You got players yelling at reporters because they wrote a good article about another player, and then came back and had the reporter write a good article about them. Like, it really was a shit show from the beginning, because no matter what, AP did his absolute best, but he skipped steps to be a head coach. That's why I said earlier in the show, it felt like the adult is in the room. An adult that's been there, done that. There's a proven track record that has shown for 20, 30 years, if you go back to the USC days, consistency. This is what Pete Carroll is. This is who he has always been. So you know what you're getting. Just chill. It is week 1 of the preseason. It's not week 9 of the regular season, and there's still issues.
So let's transition. And for those that don't know, because I know for a fact I didn't put this out there yet, we are going to open up the vault line momentarily. I wanted to get my shit off. I wanted to hear what Joe had to say as well. We've already been on 30 minutes. I can't even that was the quickest 30 minutes ever. Do me a favor, y'all. For those that
That's not what
haven't
your
done
wife
it yet,
said.
you're an ass. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash a bell. There's 143 in here right now with only 50 likes. Run that shit up. Let's go. Oh, yeah. And also, thank you guys. I got another notification. I think this was 2 days ago. We just hit 1,200,000 views on the YouTube channel the other day. So, guys, appreciate y'all support. Keep doing what you're doing. Again, if it's not for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this as much as I do. So transitioning, and this broke a couple of hours ago, the Raiders have signed free agent safety Terrell Edmonds. 8-year veteran safety, played 101 career games, started 79 over 7 NFL seasons with Pittsburgh. He was with Pittsburgh from 2018 to 2022, and most recently last year. He played with the Eagles in 23, the Titans in 23, the Jaguars in 24. He owned 451 total tackles, 308 solos, 17 for a loss, 7.5 sacks, 6 interceptions, 28 passes defended, 11 quarterback hits, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery over his career. He also started in 2 postseason contests with the Steelers, totaling 12 tackles, 9 solo, 1 for a loss, and 1 pass breakup. 6'1", 217-pound, entered the league first round selection in the 2018 draft. He signed with the Eagles, played 7 games, 3 starts before being acquired in a trade by the Titans in Week 7. Played the final 9 games of the season with only 1 start. Last season, he was a practice squad elevation from the Jaguars Week 1 before being signed by the Steelers in Week 2, where he played in 5 games over the remainder of the season and recorded only 5 tackles. What do you think about this signing? What do you think it is for? It's going to do for the Raiders? We know Lonnie Johnson is going to be on the IR for a little bit. What is this a bit of a shakeup? Like, I know we talked off air and you looked at it like this could be another depth piece for the linebacker position, or is this just a camp body for the rest of the way?
I think, and this is just me speculating now. I haven't talked to anybody. Don't know. This is just me, just initial gut reaction. Uh, there's a lot of Jamal Adams in him, where in coverage he is a liability. You can tell by the lack of interceptions. I think he could be a guy that could be one of those hybrid guys that could come down and play some backer like Jamal Adams, just in case. Because let's be real, Jamal Adams has an injury history, a really bad concussion history. So this could be some insurance there. He's been a pretty sure tackler. He comes from a family of football players. His dad and his brothers all played in the NFL. So it's one of those things where he could be a good little depth piece, which again you need at this point. Why not bring guys in for depth? That's guys go down training camp. You have another 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of camp, and then 3 weeks before or so before the first game, guys are going to get hit. Guys are going to be bruised. So, get in there and see what happens, and then again go back to the Eagle connection. He's with the Eagles for 3 games. Who they got 2 guys from the Eagles front office now, so there's a history there. There may be a trust there that they have with him. Maybe they see something in him. And again, it goes back to Pete, right? Pete's a hell of a defensive coach and knows exactly the type of players he wants. That's why the Jacorian Bennett trade to me wasn't a shock and it wasn't a big deal, because he was struggling to get on the field and get reps and get in the rotation anyway. And if Pete, who doesn't like corners under 6'1" traditionally, made the decision like, hey, we can get a D lineman in here after all the bullshit with Wilkins and the D line depth, we can get a guy that there's people in the front office that's familiar with, that in short periods of time getting on the field has been very productive. Let's go ahead and just make this deal right now. It's better for the player, it's better for us, it's better for the player that we're shipping out. And that's why with this move, I like it in the regard that it adds depth, and it could be, again, a guy that plays similar roles as Jamal Adams. But if you're asking me if he's going to come in and be a safety that's going to come in and be a Ronnie Lott or a guy that's going to come down and just take dudes' heads off, Eddie Anderson, Kevin Turner, or no, that's not going to be that guy.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I kind of just got thrown off a little bit. Give me 1 second. Let
All
me
these
see
spammers, the bots.
real quick. Yeah, and I don't know why this is happening. Maybe it's just the fact that the regular season is around the corner. So they're taking advantage of a Sunday. Granted, it's still preseason, but we're not even doing a game and they're coming in here with this. Like, it's so weird. Like, definitely incredibly the strangest thing I've seen during still somewhat of an off season. Like, preseason is here, but what are we doing? Um, I absolutely 1,000%. And you guys could ask in the chat too if you want, but I really would love to hear people call in as well. But this is also a live Q&A. We've been on for 36 minutes. We did a quick recap because, again, I hadn't been on the last 2 days. I wasn't on Friday. I wasn't on Saturday. And I was like, let me do my recap. Let me talk about the players that stood out. And having the opportunity to get Joe back on the show, it's been a long time since we've had him live in the living color. So definitely was like, let's do this. And we recapped. We just talked about the signing of Terrell Edmonds. I'm gonna open up the vault line. You guys can also ask your questions in the chat for either one of us. I'm gonna do my best to answer as many of them as possible. If you really want to stand out, if you really want me to try to get this question, you guys know the route to go. You don't necessarily have to. I'm going to do my damnedest to try to answer the questions, but we are going to open up the vault line right now. Let me put the number up on the screen for you guys. And you guys see it
Do
in the
you know when
bottom
I
right corner. 347
do you know when I
471 Go ahead, bro.
you know when I knew it was football season?
What? When?
Honestly, God, last Saturday. Last Saturday, I went over to Thor's house with a lot of the Raider Nation drinking club, and needless to say, it was a time between Thor, Adrian, Melissa, uh, uh, Berlin, GQ. It was a time. So, and then today I know they went to practice. I was looking at their stuff on social media, and I talked to them last night. Um, I have a bunch of people that went to practice today. So I'm interested to see, because I obviously didn't go. I'm interested to see what the vibe was over there. It looks like there was a cool vibe today at practice.
There you go. Let me see. And I didn't touch on this, but I'm gonna do it real quick in terms of the presser that Pete Carroll did a couple of hours ago. Adam Butler was not at practice. Adam Butler has a family issue right now, so he was not there. So that might also be another reason. Granted, he did play his ass off on Thursday, but Booker was in there today with the ones. So would love to call in and give a POV from being at the game, but I got to bounce. Just wanted to jump in and show some love. Sean, I appreciate you, man. And I know it was a tie, but I still hope you had a blast up in Seattle, man. Take care, and let's catch you on another live soon. No, I'm not going anywhere, guys. Adam is going to be the fire linebacker. Adams is going to be a fire. Yeah, he absolutely is, and I'm here for it, man. Vault line is open, guys. If you want to call in and sound off, hear your thoughts and opinions, whether it's about the game, whether it's about this signing that just happened about 4 or 5 hours ago. But the vault line is open, and you guys see at the bottom of the screen 347-471-0361. I'm trying to make sure that everything is on the up and up, and I think we are good right now. So call on in and sound off if you guys want, or if you have questions, you don't feel comfortable calling, hearing your own voice on live. You guys can ask the questions in the chat as well.
If you do call, please make sure you turn your volume down. So if you're gonna stay on the phone, because the feedback will be a bitch in our ears. I know it'll sound bad on the live too. There's a question from Paul.
Yeah, I'm about to highlight that. Are there any real merits to JPJ a guard instead of center? Joe touched on this before. Like, ultimately, they're going to put the best 5 linemen on the field. And with Brennan Carroll, Uncle Pete, and Chip, I think that that's what they are doing. Now, I've talked about this in terms of JPJ potentially playing guard. He would be a really good pulling guard for us, most definitely. But again, Pete Carroll said it in the presser before. Like, right now, there's nothing set in stone. They're still kind of, and it's probably going to sound weird when I word it this way, but they're in a sense still trying to figure it out. He said that maybe that this might even run into week 1 of the season, but we shall see. Like, what are your thoughts on that, Joe?
Best 5 need to be out there. I don't care if JPJ's at guard or he's not at guard. I don't care if he's at center. I don't care if he's left guard, right guard, center. If he's one of the best 5, he needs to be out there. That's, I think, what's happening. If it runs into this season, look, I forgot I was going to bring this up earlier before I got whatever happened disconnected. For me, I think after the Chiefs, the division is open because with Rashawn Slater going down for the Chargers, that their D line is weaker now. Yeah, they're going to slide Joe Alt over, but it's going to be weaker. I want to see if there's a progression with Bo Nix. I want to see if Sean Payton added anything to the Bronco offense. I think the Raiders have a chance to be super sneaky good and be a team that surprises a lot of people. I think that there's talent there. They have pass rushers. You talked earlier about Wilson, right? Like I think it's finally clicked for him, and he's finally healthy, which he hasn't been in his first couple of years. His first 2 years with the Raiders, he wasn't healthy at all with the foot injuries. So
I think we got our first caller. I think.
Okay, so I think the best ones go out there is the best ones who's out there.
Raider Nation News today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is OG. I'm calling from South Carolina.
What's going on, man? Sound off.
It's OG Jack Daniels, Chronicles of the Black Hole, man. That whole thing about Jack Tatum dying, man, just hurt.
When did that break? Because I haven't even seen anything.
I just saw it in the chat, man.
Oh, let me see something.
People putting it in there.
Yeah, I'm looking right now too.
Oh, no.
Oh, he died.
That was 2010. That's why I'm just like, I'm pretty sure he passed.
Why are people putting that in the chat?
Okay, I think they're putting it in chat because I had said how Fuller.
Okay.
If they're wanting to say the coming of line
here's my question: offensive line. I know that they were playing vanilla and everything else, but it never really gave us a chance to look at Genty, and that kind of like, that needs to change up, man. Or are they trying to just hide him?
I think they're trying to hide it, but at the same time, like, I'm pretty sure Pete said that the starters are going to be out there a little longer than they were, this past Thursday, which I'm perfectly fine with. But again, this is going to make me sound like a hypocrite. Would I like to see them a little like protected in a sense? Yeah, but at the same time, I want to see them play out. I want to see them play at least a quarter, maybe a half, for the simple fact that the last couple of years when it's come to us, our starters are incredibly limited in terms of their play time in the preseason. And then it shows up the first 4 weeks of the season, which is 9 times out of 10, why I can't sit there and get people like, oh, what is your prediction for the season? I'm like, I can't give you shit until I watch the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, because realistically, our starters are playing their own preseason weeks 1 through 4. And I'm definitely under the belief now with Pete Carroll at the helm that is completely changing. He's going to have his starters out there. Again, JPJ and Meredith were out there pretty deep into the game, and he just wanted to see the reps. He wanted to get more on tape of both of them at those respective positions to see if that's going to be the right move in terms of starters moving forward.
And quite frankly,
I agree. We need to see a little bit more, maybe a quarter, or at least 2 or 3 series.
The thing is today's NFL, a lot of the teams are only playing if it's week 1 in the preseason. The first team is only getting a series, and then they're putting the 2s and the 3s in. And because I think by the second week, so this upcoming week's game, you're going to see the players play longer, because these are the guys, that's where they're going to get their most reps. And then week 3,
it's been a long time, man.
Week 3.
How you been?
Week 3 is good. I'm great. Week 3 is going to be where you see again a series, and then a lot of the guys that are borderline cut. So, and I don't think they want to show him, to be honest with you, because running backs are getting hits every play. They want to limit the amount of hits he's going to have in preseason. They're going to limit the amount of hits in practice because they're going to use him a lot during the season.
Is he still there?
I'm here. I can hear you. I can't hear the other guy.
Oh shit.
Anyway, no, how you been?
Good. Let me add
Been
this.
a while.
This will help. Say something now, real quick.
Hey, can you hear
Who,
me?
me?
Can you? Did you hear Joe just now or no?
No, barely.
Enable playthrough. See if that works. Or am I echoing now?
No, you sound fine.
You were echoing before.
But now I'm not, right?
No.
All right, so we're good. I don't know what it is. We're still trying to work the kinks out with this thing. Completely new software that I've been using for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So, and this is the first time I have a guest on where we're opening the vault line for you guys to sound off.
Well, let me ask you. Been a while. I just got my eyesight back in April. I lost it a couple of years ago.
Oh wow.
And so I haven't done any shows. I haven't done anything. I haven't called into hardly anywhere.
Yeah, we definitely haven't seen you in the chat then.
No, like I said, I lost my eyesight almost 2 years ago, and I just got it back in April. It took 3 surgeries, but yeah, I'm back now. And so the season's starting. I think it might be time for me to start showing my face again.
Well, glad to even have you call in, and glad that you're doing better, got the eyesight back, and definitely hope to see you in the chats sometime soon.
Well, I'm gonna go back and listen to it because I didn't get to hear Joe, and I'm gonna go back and listen and see what he said.
All right.
You have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
All right. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. It's always something. It's always something.
Nah, I hate that though, because then you don't get to hear it, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat myself up today because we're actually having. This actually has really been a solid live that we've done so far. We have 150 in here. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell.
Yo, you do got that little echo. It's
No, I do. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, because I had added like another mic just now for like the playthrough or whatever. I've got bots on my no bots on my on my phone. Go figure. That's fucking crazy. Let me see if I'm missing anything here right now. I just want to see what you guys are saying in the chat. I was asking to on the screen, but I feel you. I'm not young, but oh, I actually wanted to answer your question, Omni. I'm so sorry. Let me try to find it again, and I will be more than glad to answer it. If I don't find, here we go. So, Joe, this goes for Joe first. I don't think I need to answer the question for him, but they asked how old are we and what are your Reader's Digest stories of becoming Raiders fans?
I'm 48, and I've been in media for over 20 years. I broke the Raiders coming to Vegas story. I cover the Raiders. I owned franchise sports media before I stepped away from media and I worked with a sports agency. So I'm not a Raiders fan. I'm not one of those. I don't bleed silver and black. I have ties to the highest of the highs in the organization, coaches, players. I'm a Packers fan, but and I said this to Mark at an owners meeting. The question what he told me I'm a part of the Raider family, and I said that's great, but I can't be because I'm part owner of the Packers. I'm a dumbass and bought $1,000 worth of stock in them, but God Himself came down and said it's your children and your family or the Green Bay Packers. I'd be a Raider. But growing up in Southern California, my stepdad had tickets to the Raiders games at the Coliseum, so I was there for Howie Long, Marcus Allen, Bo Jackson, Jay Schrader, who's a good friend of mine, Hostetler, Vince Evans, Eddie Anderson, Marvin Fernandez. I mean, Tim. I go back to those days. So That's where my Raider ties come in, but it's mostly for the media side. That's why if someone says I'm the voice of reason, because I don't get emotional during this stuff.
Somebody was saying echo, but I don't hear an echo at all. And somebody else said it sounds good. So, is it? Nah, Joe's echoing. Hold on. He wasn't echoing before. I didn't do shit. Hopefully that's good, because there was nothing else that needed to be touched on here. I could take these off. So for me, and you guys know, for those that don't know, I am a product of Long Island, New York. For me, it was the history of the organization. Being that Al is originally from Brooklyn, New York as well. Echo like a motherfucker. Really? Why the fuck? Hold on, guys. Can you guys hear me now? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and I will tell you guys a story.
I think they're saying when I speak there's an echo.
Oh, they said they can hear it when you speak. We're gonna fix that.
Is it still there?
You sound like you're broadcasting from your bathroom, Joe. All right, I'm muting Joe for a minute. Actually, say something now.
Nah, something now. It ain't my bathroom.
Yeah, I just lowered the volume, so hopefully it helps. All right. So for me, again, you're good. It's Joe. Yeah, everybody's saying it's Joe. Damn, Joe.
A lot kick nuts.
The history of that organization, man. Like the no fucks given, take no prisoners attitude, their style of hitting back in the day. It was just, that had me written all over it. I was the type of kid, I grew up playing primarily receiver. I played defensive back up until high school, and then they're like, nah, you're definitely better fit as a linebacker. I used to love helmet to helmet shots before concussions were a thing. Tim Brown was one of my all-time favorite receivers. I did have friends and family that played in the league when I was growing up too. I had a cousin that played for the Jets, and then he went to the Cardinals. I had another cousin. Go figure. It's like you get hit with one bad team, and then you get drafted by another one that I hated. He was drafted by he played his college football in Oklahoma. And you guys know I'm a huge UT fan, so we did not talk when he went to Oklahoma. And then he got drafted by the San Francisco 49ers. I was just like, okay, we're still not going to talk until you're either out of the league or playing for a completely different team. I couldn't do that shit. But Charles Woodson and Tim Brown were my two all-time favorites, especially my respective positions growing up. Believe I was in 5th grade, if I remember correctly, when Charles Woodson was drafted by our Raiders. And it was just like even more excitement for me. And since I was a little kid, man, it's been silver and black. There was always, for me, it was two colors growing up. My hometown, we were Devils, so it was red and white. And when I wasn't wearing the red and white, it was always silver and black. So there you guys go.
When you said Jets and Cardinals, the first person I thought of is, and this is, so I'm going to say it because we had never talked about this, but I know he's a New York guy. Marcel Ship?
No.
Oh, because that's my guy. I've known Marcel now for a few years.
And funny enough, and I've pointed this out a couple of times too, he was actually our receivers coach for a couple of years. He then went on to Tennessee as a receivers coach.
I know who it is.
And now he's with Carolina as a receivers coach. So there you go.
First round supplemental pick.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
You got it right away.
I know exactly who it is. Yep. No, it's one to two people. So you said it wasn't Marcel. I know who the other one was, and yeah, he was a hell of a player.
He
I
was
remember him.
more in like he more had his prime years when he was with Arizona in that one year that Arizona made it to the playoffs.
He actually just missed Pete as the Jets coach for just missed. It was
Yeah.
I remember that because it's after Joe Walton, so I remember the Altoon days. See, yeah, uh-huh.
Guys, get
I'm,
your
I'm
question.
I used
Guys,
to
get
keep.
your questions in the chat. We're here, man. Played linebacker. Always tried to hit like Villapiano. Oh God, I don't want to add that last part. And stay tuned. Stay tuned because we might have something very, very soon with Phil. We're trying to line something up right now. I might even make a return. I'm thinking about it now. Week 1, we have New England. That game is at 1 p.m. I'm gonna make some phone calls. There might be a live to be had in down on Jersey Shore week 1. So stay tuned. We will see. Well, talking
So
about
you're going to
linebacker, Genius Sale got me interested in watching football. My dad absolutely despised the Raiders, so I also converted to stick it to him. I've always been a contrarian. Yeah, of course you did. You built like a brick shithouse, bro. Shout out to the resident meathead, Rob, aka L.A. Rob.
yeah.
I think there's certain people that are like that I've seen, that I've met, that have been loyal as hell to me with this platform, that like I could look at them and be like, this is a dude I absolutely would love to have played football with. And Rob is definitely one of those guys. Like that linebacker DT connection, that shit would have been insane.
Yeah. Undeniable said he repped the flag football league for girls, coached by Marcel Reese. Marcel Reese, I've known Marcel Reese since he was in junior college. He played with my brother at Chafin College. So every time I see Reese, it's a good it's a good time. Was kind of sad when he left, but good to see that he's still hanging around. You know what position groups? The question from Silver and Black Facts: what position groups concerns you the most as of today? O line, linebackers, D line. I think that's a great question because if I'm gonna keep it a buck, I would say the linebackers, believe it or not, and always up front. I'm always concerned about the O line, D line, just because I think you need to have the most depth at that position, um, and I think the teams that do win a lot, and that's why you see teams that guys are getting drafted so high that play up front in the trenches. So that would probably be the two for me, O line, D line, and in the linebackers, just because I think there's some uncertainty at the linebacker position. You got some older guys there and guys that have an injury history, and I think you need to have a lot of depth there if you're Pete Carroll, the way he runs his defense.
Hold on one second. The linebacking position, you just made me like really scratch my head with that one because I'm just like, wait, what? I like the depth that they have there, but yeah, I think for me right now, and it's crazy because it's so deep because we are in training camp, but I don't think it's a concern. I'm at the point now where it's like, let's get through these next 2 games and see ultimately in terms of the offensive line and defensive line who's going to make the 53-man roster. I like what our linebacking room looks like right now. Granted, it's crazy that had we had these 3-4 guys in their prime like 3-4 years ago, this would be the most dangerous linebacking core in the NFL. But these guys are all on 1-year prove it deals, and they have a lot to play for right now. So I'm very intrigued.
But that can stop the injuries. I mean, Devin White's injury history, Jamal Adams' injury history, like those are guys they're going to be counting on. And there's a significant like if we're being and look, Devin White by name is a great football player. The last couple of years he hasn't been. If we're looking
No,
at just the numbers and the facts, so like, you're relying on something on a name value. That's why I get it where fans get excited because oh, they signed this person who has a name, and we remember he had great years 4 or 5 years ago, but look at the last couple of years, it hasn't been like that. So that's why that room concerns me. Off the injury history and relying on guys with the injury history that have big names.
I'm looking at. Hold on.
Okay, the Johnny Kicknuts. I want to. I don't. I mean, we haven't talked about this. I think we talked about it briefly personally. Um, should we break this down?
I kind of
I
spoke
know
about
you
it like
feel.
a week. I kind of spoke about it a week or two ago, and the one thing that blows my mind more than anything else, I did a Sunday show a couple of weeks ago, guys, and a couple of you that are in here right now were there. Did I not say? Did I not talk about this linebacking group? Did I not talk about how they are all on 1-year prove-it deals? And I said to keep an eye out on Dallas and this whole Micah Parsons situation. I said Jerry is on his bullshit. There's a chance that he's going to want out. Days later, it comes out that Micah Parsons wants out. Now everybody and their mother wants to talk about this like they were the first ones to break the shit. Joe, go ahead.
I work with a sports agency. I'm literally in charge of the football division. As some of you may or may not know now, I left media for it. The agency world is it's all about relationships, and one domino affects another. One hand scratches the other. I'm of the belief that Micah Parsons will be the highest non-paid quarterback in the NFL after September 1st. This is Jerry Jones' track record and his history. But if by some chance Micah Parsons does get traded, his agent is David Mulugeta of Athletes First. David is also Kristen Wilkins' agent. He is not happy with the situation, how it went down, how they're trying to cancel the guarantees and this and that with the Raiders. There's some bad blood and ill will on his end. I wouldn't expect him to do the Raiders any favors if a trade were to happen, and I would dare to say he would tell them behind the scenes, a lot like Rich Paul does and other agents do, yeah, he's not going to go there. Because a lot of times the agents help work out the deals with the teams behind the scenes. So I do not expect a Micah Parsons to the Raiders trade. There is a slew of other teams. Financially, the Raiders are more than equipped to take it on. But then there's also this, and I don't think it would be a problem, at least perceptionally. Maybe internally and quietly there might be. Do you want to pay Micah Parsons more than you're paying Max Crosby?
It's gonna. I'm telling you now, looking at the market value and looking like what he is expecting to get, you're probably looking at him getting something along the lines of an average annual of $42 million a year.
Right. So, but okay, he's going to end up getting paid more than Max Crosby. But do you want to pay him more than Max Crosby on a team where Max Crosby is a captain and a leader?
Pretty much is the Raiders, embodies the Raiders. You think Max would have a problem having a guy like that? Like, they're very close anyways. Do you think he would have a problem with that?
I don't know. Because I've had conversations with Max, never about something like this. Max and I have always had really good conversations, but I don't know because it's a different situation now. You know, Max knew he was going to get his money. Just like we said earlier in the year, just like we said going into off season. Max is going to get paid, but Max wants the Raiders to show him respect, i.e. make me one of the highest paid players. Max was the highest paid defensive end for a week or two.
Right.
And then, now he's like the fourth or fifth. So, unfortunately, I don't think – knowing what I know and talking to people, I don't see it happening. There's a lot of people that, content creators and reporters that will want to stir the pot and get the clicks and say, oh, it's happening, or they're going to talk about it. And on paper, it may make sense, but I I mean, look, at minimum, right? Two first rounders, a third rounder, and a sixth rounder has to go that way, and
I'm doing it
probably a
then.
contract.
I'm fucking doing it, bro.
No, I'm just saying that's the baseline, and that's the Khalil Mack trade. That's going to be the baseline for any deal for Micah Parsons, which may not be a lot, but you're looking at 2, 4, maybe 5 players, and then you're going to pay a guy guaranteed, let's say 100 and some, let's say 120 million guaranteed over 4 or 5 years, 3 years, whatever it is.
Pillaging
No,
just for fun.
no,
Just ask. You think it's possible Micah takes a discount, not a big one, to
no,
come to the Raiders?
no, no. Why would a player take a discount? They have a small amount of time to maximize their earning potential. And there's no way any player is going to take a discount for a team they've never played for and have no history with. Now, if that was Max giving the Raiders a discount, yeah, I could see something like that because they'll find a way to make it up on another end. There's no way Micah Parsons, who has zero ties to the Raiders, other than knowing players, talking to Tom Brady before a telecast, maybe talking to Spivey during the draft process. There's no way he's going to give anybody this. That's not his job, and that's not how David Mulugeta gets down. Name
Dude,
a player who Dave represents that literally takes a discount.
I'm looking at this comment right now, and it's just blowing my mind because, again, we talked about a certain player, a certain quarterback that was drafted by us ages ago that was on that stupid fucking little poster board the other day. There is one team in the NFL that has not drafted and I'm not even going to continue to go with this afterwards, but there is one team in the NFL that has not drafted a black quarterback in the first round ever. And that's the New York Football Giants. So miss me with that bullshit. That's like the worst comment I've seen.
Why would someone like? What does race have to do with anything of playing quarterback?
It's 2025, and people are still on that fucking kick. And you know what? Again, I'm not even gonna go any further in this shit. Just move the fuck on. Like it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, but I guess like I said, there's no way Dave is gonna allow Micah, and I know Dave. We're part of the same fraternity.
Dave represents Dave represents all the teams in the NFL, half the players on the roster, for those that don't know.
He is this generation's Lee Steinberg on steroids. And Brian Burney is marketing guys, my homeboy. Like literally, they're not letting anybody take anything for any discount for anything because that affects their pay as well.
I don't know how true it is, but I saw a quote from Micah saying he would take a discount to get out of the Raiders and play with Max.
Okay, and I would gladly give my left nut to have a night with Sweetie. I mean, I can say this, that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
I'm fucking done with you, man. I'm fucking done with you. I'm done.
Hey, but that's what I say. People can say whatever they want to say, but he's not going to do it. Like, and again, go back historically and look at Jerry Jones. Name a player, a marquee player entering his prime that he's let leave Dallas.
So you're really under the belief that he's going to get this deal done. Like we saw this last season. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Dak Prescott got his contract extension the day of, if not like 2 hours before kickoff in week 1, right? Like
absolutely.
But I'm still, again, Micah has said his piece. Micah, get me the fuck out of here. But is it going to be a thing where money talks and he's offered this deal and it's like, because we saw the same thing recently with Myles Garrett. So I'm just like, does he really want out, or is he going to take this bag and stay put in Dallas?
I'm just saying, like, deadline spurn action My good friend Andrew Brand has said that for years, and um, at the end of the day, money cures all. So if Hammer could be pissed off at me and be like, I'm not doing another show with Joe, whatever the case may be, we could fall out, and then all of a sudden it's like, Hammer, I got a paid gig for me and you to do a show, and you're making X amount of money, and that's all you're gonna have to do. Guess what? Hammer's gonna be like, sign me up, we're good. It's the reality of it. There's no difference.
You just said money cures everything.
For players and contracts, absolutely.
Oh, I was gonna see. I had a rebuttal to that because you said money cures everything. Money doesn't cure herpes, folks.
You're saying that's the gift that keeps on giving?
Herpes are forever.
So I said, fuck it.
I'm an asshole, man. I'm an asshole.
I'm just saying. No, but realistic. But like if we're gonna keep it, like we're staying on the subject and everything. I know we're fucking around having a good time, but like at the end of the day, there's no way Jerry Jones is gonna let him walk. He didn't do it with Emmitt Smith. He didn't do it with Michael Irvin. He didn't do it with Troy Aikman.
Right.
He didn't do it with Dak. He didn't do it with CeeDee Lamb, who he was beefing with. Anybody that's an elite player that they have, Zach Martin, he pays them. That's what Jerry does. He's an old guy set in his ways that the game is getting close to passing him by because of the way the new rules and negotiating stuff is. And he's just in a, I don't know, like it's like he's gonna do it his way until he can't do it his way anymore. And guess what? And I know for a long time, people would say Al Davis. I seen that one. I've seen that one.
250,000 in a blender.
I wasn't gonna. But if you think about it, like for a long time they said Jerry Jones is a lot like a younger Al Davis when Al was getting up in age. And you look at Al at the end of his years, there were some things that probably passed him by, and I think set the team back for a while. I mean, they didn't get computers for scouting until Reggie McKenzie became the general manager. A lot of people don't realize that. So this could be one of those things where it could pass him by, and I just don't see Micah Parsons being dealt. I think a deal gets done. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he goes somewhere where he can make a lot of money because I despise the Cowboys.
Shout out to the Kevin Nash of Raider Nation, A Spivey. Give Micah whatever he wants when Micah and Max would rule the AFC West. It's a fucking fact, dude. That's a fact. You know what's funny? We were talking about this earlier as we recapped our tie on Thursday night. We were talking about how the media, and it's not really the media right now, it's the nation more than anybody else, talking about how players are busts and this, that, and the third, how Genty's a bust. You know what's funny? I'm looking back at this game the other day with the Chargers and seeing Trey Lance play quarterback. Does that mean Herbert needs to be benched? Does that mean Trey Lance is going to be the starting quarterback for the LA Chargers now? I'm asking for a friend. Like, this shit is... It just blows. I'm looking at Twitter right now and looking at a highlight right now, and it just really made me go back to what we were talking about in terms of the recap earlier and what people are saying. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? I'm trying to see if there's any other news that is going on. I just see highlights right now. There's really nothing else. Yeah, there's really nothing else. The Jets activated Jermaine Johnson off the PUP list. Strip sack for the Chargers. I know we don't give a shit about that.
You're talking a lot about the Chargers on your timeline now, it seems.
Oh my
What's that about?
Say that again?
I mean, you just said you've been at Twitter or X, whatever.
It's NFL. It's NFL's tweeting all this stuff out. They're tweeting out like the highlights and everything. And so I think it was Omni asked about the kicker from Jacksonville last night. I saw that 70-yard field goal in the middle of the night. I saw the video and I was like, holy shit. Like, if that was a regular season game, we all know it's a record. That was insane. And he still definitely had plenty of room to spare. Like, I want to know where that kid's from. Was he originally a soccer player? What have you? Because that kick was incredibly insane. Thank you, Pillaging. Because I feel like, and I've been thinking about this the last 3 days. I feel like a lot of people, and I'm not going to say specifically because I can't think like that, but I feel like people were doing the same thing with JJ until JJ turned up, put up those numbers, and everybody wanted JJ to stay. And then JJ went to Green Bay. Look, I'm throwing bars out there right now. And then everybody was in their feelings again. Oh, he didn't give us a proper goodbye. Da 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 da. He took the money and ran, not knowing exactly why he ended up going to Green Bay. And then I sat on it for months, no Diddy, knowing exactly what transpired, was waiting for the right person to bring it out to the public. They never did. And I kept seeing and hearing all this stupid shit. And I was just like, no, now it's story time with Hammer. This is exactly why he's not here. And then you could hear a pin drop. It was just oh. Like, the kid is only played his first preseason game and only had 3 carries. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Stop. Stop with the divide. Stop with the bullshit. Stop with the negativity. It is a new era. It's a new regime. Things are looking up. You heard Pete in the presser not too long ago. It's 10 wins or more. Like, come on. What are we doing? That kick should count. That shit's never been... I agree with you. When I saw it, I thought it... And I was like, they're not going to let this count. Who's to say he doesn't do it in the preseason with Creepy Cone doing Duval? Sound like Ken Kniff when he did that shit in the presser. Real ones know. Anyways, we are at 1 hour and 17 minutes. There's still 169 of you guys in here, but I'm going to wrap this up at this point. And if you haven't already, do me a favor. Break them thumbs. Hammer that sub. Smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house that Hammer built by the nation, for the nation, Raider Nation News today. Joe, anything you want to say before we head out? I think Joe froze. The entire time he's been frozen, I didn't realize it. So we're going to take him off the screen. That was actually good. Raiders are back and my Dodgers are going back to back. Talk that shit, bro. You guys know, and my thing is, you can never question my fandom. I got 2 baseball teams. You can fight me on it. I don't give a shit. Yes, they're in the same league. I don't give a fuck. The one team is originally from New York. They're the team that gave Jackie Robinson a chance. I'm a Mets and a Dodgers fan. I don't give a shit. I will root both teams when they play each other. I'm divided. I'll just watch the game and keep my mouth shut. So I don't want to hear that shit if anybody tries to come at me for that one. That's for goddamn sure. Anyways, I digress. We're going to wrap this up the correct way. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. Joe didn't get that memo. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Stay committed to excellence as always. Of course, as always on my New York. Peace, love, and positivity. Oh yeah, there's that part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
We outro, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm gonna try to be on tomorrow. Maybe even get a Graph and Hammer show. Stay tuned, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We outro.